Okay, this is part 2 of Zoom meeting conduction app. Now stage 2 is before admitting anyone in meeting as well as if your meeting is started. So the very first thing is if at all you have started this meeting, as we can see on the screen that right now our meeting is getting started. And now our meeting has officially started. So now before admitting anyone, because as we can see in participants, there is only a single user. There could be waiting room, there could be some participants waiting in waiting room. But before admitting anyone, a host has to do following steps by going in this more option here. On the rightmost bottom part of the screen, there is a more option. And if you click on more option, there is an option of meeting settings. So by clicking on this meeting settings option, a host can see these many properties, these many parameters. So the very first thing is waiting room by default initially was also enabled, but if somehow that part could have been skipped there, so again a host can enable waiting room from this option also. Now next thing, allow participants to. So now these parameters are highly essential because these parameters are giving rights to participants. So the very first thing is screen share, allow participants to screen share. Now screen share option should be disabled if content needs to be delivered to participants. This option should only be enabled if faculty members require viewing outputs generated by students. And that too, this option is only much effective when there are less number of students in meeting, else someone might take access and share unwanted content on screen. Hence, it is advisable that screen share option for participants should be disabled. Next option is allow participants to chat with, and this option should be compulsorily set to host only or no one, because as we have found out that there are some issues or nuisances created by students during meeting ongoing. So in that case, if it is a broadcasting type of session, so no one option can be chosen. Otherwise, if a host expects students or participants to reply on timely basis for questions asked through text manner, so host only option can be chosen, but then this is subjective. But at any point of time, everyone publicly also option can be chosen, but then this option gives or uh, reflects the entire text message in front of everyone. So preferably host only option is better. Now next, allow participants to rename themselves. Now this option should always be disabled because by enabling this option, what issues can be created is practically, which we have experienced is, for example, if some random person is coming by official name and during mid meeting, if he or she wishes to pass on some verbal comments, so if at all this option is enabled, so what participant can do is on time on for some time he or she can rename themselves to some random name and they can pass on comments verbally, and after that, in order so that no one identifies who had passed on comments, they can again rename themselves back to their original name. So if this process is not carried out effectively, then a host will not be able to identify which student had passed comments. And allow participants to unmute option can be enabled or disabled. If session is broadcasting type of session, then it should be disabled. If this session is interactive kind of session, then it can be enabled. Again, this is subjective to a host. Now meeting topic option is the same topic which we had created in part 1. But in case if you wish to edit it again, so still there is a provision given here as well. Now play time for enter or exit. This option should be enabled only if host needs to be alert if a new participant has entered meeting or not. Else it should be disabled. Now mute upon entry option should be disabled so that there is no background noise from any participant as soon as they enter meeting. Last two options are subjective to host. It depends on him or her to enable or disable it. Show non-video participants and show name when participants join. So this option is subjective. Now once all these options are taken care of, so then you can click on participants and you will find that some participants are there present in waiting room. So accordingly, if their name is proper, If they can be identified properly using their credentials, so you can admit them. Otherwise, you can keep them in waiting room itself. They won't be able to create any disturbance during the actual session going on. So on a random basis by one device, I'll show you some of the features that a host can do. For example, now on the screen, a user named as random person has entered. So now it is up to me to allow him or her to come in this session. Now, for example, assuming that this person's name is proper, so I can admit him, and once I have admitted him, okay, now once I have admitted that person, so by clicking on this person's name, a host can see n number of options. So if at all a participant's video is off, so a host can ask participant to start video. If somehow a host name is not proper, so again the participant's name is not proper, so a host can ask the participants, and even himself or herself, the host can rename that participant to a proper name. But if you identify that this specific person is creating some disturbances or nuisances during your session, so you can click on that participant's name, and there are two options. First option is put in waiting room, other option is remove. So as per your decision, you can either put that person in waiting room, or else you can put that person in, you can make that person leave this meeting. So once a host removes a participant from any meeting, that user won't be able to join back that meeting again. So one more demo I'll give you regarding how to rename that person. For example, if this person's name is not proper, so even from my end, I can rename that person to whatever name I wish to specify. For example, if you identify that a faculty member has entered during scrutiny, but his or her name is not proper, but you know which faculty has entered, so you can click on his or her name, and yourself you can rename him or her. So this is what care can be taken care of while conduction of meeting. And once you have taken all the participants which were expected during this during your actual session going on, then one more thing a host can do is, you can click on more. Again, you can click on meeting settings, and the first option, which is lock meeting, so this lock meeting option can be enabled. So when you lock the meeting, no new participants can join, even if they have the meeting ID and password. So all the participants which are already existing or present in the meeting only can view the contents of the meeting, and no other user, irrespective they are having credentials of coming into the meeting, they won't be able to even come in waiting room. So this option again can be explored, but it depends whether a host has already admitted all the participants or not. So once this task is done, then accordingly all the participants can be admitted and your session can be continued.